Patreon recently has had a bunch of changes that they've done
Yes.
to updates and stuff, and I just haven't paid attention to it. Like, I've seen
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, whatever.
Couple things we wanted to discuss at the end of this episode was just some updates on what we wanted to do with Total Pebble Knockdown in general. So,
Yeah.
Alex, state of Total Pebble Knockdown. What's going on?
Sure, we're doing great. We're having a fun time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we have been thinking a bit about the fact we've been doing TPK now for just over 2 years.
2 years. Yep.
So one of the things we were looking at is our website.
Yes.
Lovely website we designed. It costs money to run. A substantial amount of money for the money that we don't make, which is not the point. We don't need to make money to be able to do things necessarily. It would be cool. It'd be cool. It'd be great. The Squarespace running costs of the website is a bit more than we need to pay out if we don't really get any traffic on the website. And one of the things is we don't really get a lot of traffic on the website, which, again, we don't push people to the website for anything.
No.
And there's nothing really that you need to go to the website for specifically aside from merch, but we can do that a different way too.
A couple different ways, yeah, which we can talk about. But yeah.
So one of the things we're thinking is we're going to try and pare down the website to maybe like a single web page hosted somewhere else with our latest videos on it and like a little bit of what we are and all the stuff we offer, but at a reduced size because then everything's in one spot.
Right, it probably just needs to be something like a landing page is what we were talking about.
Pretty much,
yeah.
And that'll also save stuff on your end, Nathan, when you write the posts up. We won't necessarily have to do that anymore.
Right, because a lot of them are still going to be in video format and everything like that. You know, people will still be able to get them in that way. I think, like, the behind-the-scenes part for people who are listening right now, like, oh, you're not going to have a website, is that if people aren't really going to the website and they're seeing our content in other ways, it really doesn't serve us very much to do that. Most people don't find us through the website. They usually end up going to the website afterward, after they've already looked at stuff. The website's useful if it brings traffic to everything else. And frankly, it does cost money, and we are always very thankful for the patrons that we have, but the truth of the matter is that for what we do get on Patreon, it pretty much has to completely pay for the website on a yearly basis for what we get.
I mean, I don't think it even covers that, but that's fine.
Yeah, which is, again, one of the reasons why, you know, pare it down. If we ever had a reason to have more stuff on there, that would be something. We don't really write articles so much. We mostly just do videos and podcasts, and that's something that we can do in other media that we get a lot more traffic on, frankly. We can talk a little bit about what we were going to do for merchandise, because we have sold some. We're always happy when people come and check our merch out, but there are options where you can do them either on like YouTube or you can do them through other means. So
right. Also, one of the things, speaking about merch, is I'm not sure how the quality has held up for everybody that has bought anything. I know my hat, for instance, the beanie is fine. I think, Nathan, your hoodie is fine.
Mine is fine, yeah.
But the t-shirts, specifically the ones we have that, at least the two of us here have, the tri-blend ones don't really hold the design very well. They've all but worn off.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just the number of washes that it goes through or whatever, but yeah, I'd like to see something that might be a little bit more higher quality if we can. So looking into some options for that, if we're going to go through the process of, you know, changing out some stuff, we're probably also going to look at some other options for actual clothing and merchandising. I can tell you, Alex, if we really wanted, like, real high quality stuff, I actually do know, like, a company that can do screen printing that's more local. The problem, of course, is that to pay for like the whole run of something, like, you know, like,
yeah.
I don't know how many mediums and larges of a sweatshirt.
Yeah, the difference between a print on demand service and getting a batch order is that you don't have to buy a batch order when you print on demand.
Right. If I said I need one medium shirt and I need or whatever, they could probably get it, but it would probably also take a really long time to do small orders like that. So, and I have no idea how much it would cost. It would probably be pretty exorbitant.
One of the things I would love to do for merch, but that would require a bit more research and probably a higher cost anyways, would be if we could get some dice made.
Oh yeah, dice would be great to do some custom dice.
Yeah, but those tend to be expensive.
Oh yeah, in similar fashion, something that I thought would be really cool is, you know, those like almost like disc plate, you know, those tin posters that I thought it would be cool if we could make like an actual poster layout that people could like put up that would be in like a tin, like a metal sign, like those kinds of things.
That'd be neat, but we'd have to have an interesting design on it then, because just having the
we'd have
album wouldn't really be interesting for people.
No, that would also take work. We'd have to design that. So,
and we do have a designer. But you know, if we're gonna have them design more stuff, we need a bigger audience that would want stuff.
Yeah, we would need to know that somebody out there was going to buy one. Or 10. So, Patreon. Patreon.
We got one. Click on the Patreon link down below.
That's right. Make sure to do that. We have a Patreon. We do get some use out of it, and we do have some patrons on there. What we usually use it for is to have early releases of the videos and also to do some of the additional bonus content that we talk about behind the scenes, sometimes to relay information to of like upcoming stuff that most people wouldn't know about. So that's usually what we do. Occasionally, too, something I like to put up there are draft versions of stuff that before the actual full versions, like if I had previously done a version that didn't become the full one. You know, some interesting things that we've done in the past. But I think we're probably going to utilize it a lot more, especially because paring down the website, that we can really use that also for a way to release a lot of the full video presentations for the general population so that they can go over there.
Patreon recently has had a bunch of changes that they've done to updates and stuff, and I just haven't paid attention to it. Like, I've seen it, and I'm like, whatever. I'll check it out later. And then I always put it off. So I feel like we'll need to see what they've changed and updated on there.
Yeah.
And we can better use it. I know that I think free tiers are a thing now as well on Patreon.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you can like do a free subscription, and that's its own tier. So I want to go over the Patreon, what we can both offer, and then see what we can use it for like goal setting as well. Because they had goals or something before and changed it.
They did.
And like as a way to like do community and to expand and whatnot, and then integrate the Patreon role into maybe its own section of the Discord server, for instance.
Yes.
Because you can have certain ones that you need the Patreon role to get into.
Yes.
That way, if we have people who want to do specific things, talk specific things, or just have specific things for patrons, we can do that.
That's true. That's true. And I didn't know about the free tiers for Patreon, but it would be interesting to set one of those up. Just so, too, like, we could even run polls about which one of these subjects do you think would be the most interesting one to discuss, or what kind of thing do you like to hear about the most? Get people engaged so that they're on there. Probably utilizing Patreon more would be good. We already have it. It's already set up. It can be used for a variety of things. Our patrons have been very good for us for many years, and anything more that we can offer, focusing on that instead of focusing on like the website itself, would be probably good for everybody involved. And so
then one of the other things too, touching on the Discord thing, is that I would like to revamp the Discord as well. There's a bunch of channels in there that don't really see a lot of use or proper use, for instance.
Yes.
And I would like to kind of see how we can rearrange it to make it just more ergonomic and how to make it just better use of its space.
Yeah, I think that there's probably a few places where we could pare down one channel into, like, several channels into one channel, like just several forums. And maybe even add a few depending on what we want people to be discussing in there, like how we
and I think the best use for that would be me going into the Discord and making a channel that's like, hey, we're gonna revamp this. What do you guys want to see? What do you think can go away? And have the people that are active in our community help us figure out what would be best.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. We're gonna probably have to create another channel so that we can figure out what channels we actually need. But hey, you know what? It's a revamping. It's been 2 years in. It's a good time to be able to revamp, and especially now that, like, you know, we have some great people on Discord. It's not a huge community, but it is a very active one. I'm always surprised by how many times I see posts on there. It's actually pretty
very
good.
Active might be generous. It is
active for its size.
Sometimes
what I mean is active for its size, considering how many people are on there.
Yeah, no, it's not a huge community, but the people there are great.
Yes.
I don't know, for instance, my friend Clayton has been doing his part to try and be active on there, which is great, too, to help out, which is awesome.
Yeah, I have a few people that give me a whole breakdowns of the episode after we do them, segment by segment.
We always appreciate that, Datum.
Yeah, thanks, Datum. I'm thinking specifically. Sometimes Seago. No, everybody that comes by, everybody that comes to visit us for our live shows that are part of, like, our main core community is great. I'm surprised just by the amount of people that we actually have on the server compared to the amount of engagement that we get. Discord's very good for that. Like to be able to utilize it more for that. Yeah. But it would be cool too if we get a free level for the Patreon to do, like, at least that as a channel, so that we know that people that have signed up over there are, you know, actively talking in a forum over on Discord. Discord is not perfect. It has its issues, but it is a very valuable resource for what we do, where we want to have more open discussions about topics with people that are also interested in it, as more of a dialogue and less of a, fight about it down in the comments sort of thing that you get on YouTube.
Not a fan of big fights.
No, like, we'll engage with a lot of the comments that we get onto YouTube, but YouTube does lend itself more to just, like, a couple random people that have never met having this long drawn out, fight about stuff that is completely off topic occasionally.
Yeah, we've had a couple on some of our videos that kind of popped off where people are just kind of being dicks in the comments. So it's like,
Yeah, I do have to say I've at least been pleased that most of the time it's constructive. Most of the time
it is. And then the occasional dick in the comments gets their comment deleted by me.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's like, what's up? What are we doing here? Yeah. But no, even on the ones that we talked about in great detail, a lot of times it was mostly people who had interest of those topics. The one that we did about 3E is still our most watched video by far. But that one, a lot of people were talking about, like, well, actually, here's some of the history about the barbarian, and here's some of the history about how the spells worked, or, all of that, or how prestige classes were. That's all good. I like that. But then you occasionally get people where it's like, I don't even know what you're saying. I think there was that one comment that I loved. I actually had to screenshot it because I was like, I don't know if this is gonna stay up, but I gotta do something about it. Who, I think we were talking about magic items, and I think he was under the impression that we were actually talking about, like, magic and not, like, in Dungeons and Dragons, but, like, doing magic itself. And I was like, what? What are you talking about, man? Did you not see the D&D? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just entertaining for me, though. But
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, probably focusing more on the YouTube stuff, only because the video presentations get far, far more traction than the podcasts. The audio-only podcasts don't really see a lot of people listen to them. It's really mostly on YouTube, and if anyone's seen some of our numbers on YouTube, you can probably guess what our podcast numbers are. They're not stellar, but we have a few people that listen there on a consistent basis, so I still want to do it. It's just not something that we will probably prioritize as how we put content out.
I don't think it'll change. I just think we're going to focus more on the presentation on the YouTube side. So
right. And so some of the stuff I usually do is if there's graphic elements or overlays or information that I can put up on screen for better clarity, I like to put those on when we're discussing games themselves, and I happen to have the footage for those games. Then I will try to put that up just to make it a little bit more interactive. That's stuff that you wouldn't normally see. I don't think you're going to lose anything if you're listening to the audio only. I think you're still going to be able to enjoy it perfectly fine. But for those of you who are watching this, I think you're going to maybe get a little bit more clarity and be able to get a little bit more out of it. Like Alex is getting out of his sneezes right now. That's good.
Yeah, good sneeze.
Yeah, that's good. We're looking at doing some basic graphic overlay changes and updates. So if you see any of like the end cards or our overlays or something change a bit, that was by design. We didn't do it because somebody got angry with us or something. We're active.
I got angry.
Alex got angry, and so now we change it. But he has some clout here, so you can do that. But at any rate, new year 2024 seems like a good enough year as any to go back and try to tweak some stuff, work some stuff out long term, because we're not getting any younger. That's not how time works.
Nope, it's not. I checked.
So, hey, you let us know if there's anything that you were looking forward to hearing about, or if you have any suggestions for what you'd like us to do. Hopefully productive, hopefully not about real magic. That would be great. And if you have any suggestions, you can leave them in the comments down below. You can check us out over on Discord, obviously, and hopefully we'll have even a free Patreon tier soon enough. You can check us out over there, even if you're not paying monthly charges. And of course, you can always like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. More people are doing it seemingly every week. So
seemingly. We're gonna pretend, even if they don't.
Wink.
Wink, nod, nudge.
See, I'm doing an actual physical wink, but I'm also saying wink for the people who are listening at home on the audio. See, everybody gets a little something out of this.